Greetings, everyone, and thank you so much for watching yet another episode of the Emanuel Show. Today, I have a very special guest, a gentleman that I had a wonderful time meeting a couple of months ago at a photo shoot, and it turns out that he and I have somewhat of the same vision, but we're going forward in terms of helping people to tell their stories and giving them the recognition they deserve. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to you all Mr. Leo Arnold.
Ayrault.
Ayrault. Okay. Leo Ayrault. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Emanuel. But before you ask the first question, let me just acknowledge you for a second, man. I'm a really, really big fan of people who do what they love, and the passion that you bring out to the table is real as it gets. And I really, really sincerely appreciate you for sharing this platform with me, because I know this is your baby. So thank you.
Yeah, it's my baby. Thank you so much, though. I appreciate it. I'm just a simple guy that's just trying to make it happen and give people their platform to tell the stories that they deserve to tell for themselves. So it really is about the people. It's not about me. Although it's called the Emanuel Show, yes, it's about the people. So let's just get into enough about me. You, Leo, who are you? How would you describe yourself?
I would describe myself as the tallest Asian guy that most people meet. I'm 6'5" tall.
Okay.
Originally born and raised in Japan, in all seriousness. I grew here. I came to this country when I was 13 years old. My parents, I'm half Japanese, half American. I always wanted to live in both cultures while I'm a kid, and high school was right around the halfway point where I could do that. So I moved here in 2008. I moved within the country to Virginia and to Michigan 3 times in the first 2 years. So I never really had my opportunity to acclimate myself to the American culture. And I spent a lot of days sitting by myself at lunches and after school, not really having people to hang out with. And I really
Why do you think that? Why do you think that was the case? Because of your heritage and
dude, when you come from the opposite side of the planet, and this is pre-Facebook, so just to not have friends that you can just call up and be like, hey, you want to talk about today? That was tough. But yeah, I came here in 2008, and I struggled a lot in the beginning, but once I got to senior year in high school, I started to kind of acclimate myself to the culture, and right when college started, that's when it started to change a little bit.
Okay, all right. Now, in growing up, and especially in this particular climate, especially where we are politically, and shifting our views of the world, do you feel like things have gotten better or worse when it comes to immigrants and being here, immigrants acclimating themselves into American culture? How do you feel that climate is within your own family or within your own community?
That's a really, really good question. I'd say that it is going towards the positive direction. You and I just ran into each other at that organization called New Detroit and the dinner that they had. But I think as time progresses and more people start to look like me, i.e. Biracial people, I think more and more have a deeper understanding of respecting each other's cultures and finding the good in each other's cultures.
Okay.
I think that's the direction that we're heading.
Okay, so let's get back into what you are doing with your life. What are you doing right now that's leaving your stamp onto the world?
What I'm doing right now is continuing my late grandfather's legacy. When I was talking about that specific journey of moving to this country, right around college when I first started Wayne State, that's when my life really started to change. First, it went completely down. I didn't know what my purpose was. I was struggling in classes, and I got an academic probation letter sent from this university at Wayne State saying if I don't get my GPA up, they're gonna kick me out of college. And like I said, I've never been a dumb student. I come from an Asian heritage where we really, we take
Shot.
education seriously.
Yes.
And when I got that, coincidentally, my grandpa, who I loved dearly, was diagnosed with cancer. So I was going back and forth from hospital, which I hated because every step that he took forward, he took 2 steps back, and also the school, which I was struggling in. I just didn't have any motivation. And finally, the day came where he passed away, and I was in the room, Emanuel, when the doctors notified my granny that they're going to have to pull the plug. And I was also in the room when they did, and I saw the monitor go to 0, and I saw a man who I loved dearly go from him to just a disposable body. And when I saw that, you know, it just gave me this huge epiphany that will never change my life, which is, you know, that's going to be me one day. And all of the time I was spending worrying and being angry at the things that I was lacking was time wasted appreciating and loving the things that I did possess. So I started to view the glass as being half full rather than half empty.
Change your perspective.
Yeah. Now I'm at the point where I'm like, as long as I got a glass, I'm good. I don't care how full it is.
That's how I feel. I'm happy to get a cup. I'm just do what would, in my opinion, it's a matter of just doing what you can with what you have, and using that to continue the journey forward.
Yes,
yeah, so.
absolutely.
So your grandfather passing really pushed you to really change your perspective, and that's leading you into your path now.
Absolutely. And that was only the first epiphany that I had. The second epiphany I had was at his funeral.
Okay.
Emanuel, I mean, there were so many people from different walks of life that were here, and that was there, and they all came up to me and was like, you know, Leo, I know you don't know me, but I know you, and I just wanted you to know that your grandpa made a positive impact in my life. And I was just grateful to have known him. And right then and there, I realized that the true measurement of wealth and success is not predicated to money or cars or how big your house is. It's none of that. It's how many people did you impact? How many people remember you for all the right reasons? And how many people celebrate the fact that they got to know you? So that became my goal, man, is to do just that, to continue his legacy. And the best vehicle that I could think of was through communications. He had this innate ability to talk to anybody, anywhere, and make them feel good and important. And I felt that that was my destiny to keep that legacy going. So I changed my major to communications, and first semester back, I get a 4.0. And
all right, talk about a turnaround.
Yeah, now I'm back, you know, with the positive momentum.
That's good.
From there, it just kept changing.
Okay, so did you graduate yet from
No.
college? Okay, you still here?
Yeah, I'm actually finishing my last semester at in the fall semester, and then I'm done. I'm registered. I just got to show up and sign some papers. I'm done, right?
I know that's right. I remember when I was in college, that was the best part about it. Like when I was at the end, I was like, oh, I ain't got nothing else to do? Okay, I'm getting ready to leave. That's it. At one or two more classes, it was the best feeling in the world.
Yeah.
So I completely get where you are in that.
And that's the thing, man. I delayed that process, you know, and hopefully whoever is listening to this interview, you know, whether if it's just one person that listens to this, you know, college is truly a marathon. You know, for me, when I made that switch in my major, you know, I was already sophomore year, so it delayed my graduation a lot. But sometimes you kind of have to go the long route in order to go the right route.
But see, in that process, you were learning yourself. You learning what works and what doesn't work. You're trying and error. You saw where you were and where you weren't successful.
Yeah.
That all that did was direct you to your successful route. And those epiphanies that you had with your grandfather passing, that really just turned the light on that there's something greater in life.
Yes.
That there's more. So the things that you think that you failed at, you didn't fail. That was just something that you weren't supposed to be a part of, or the things that your life was just not going in the right direction. But you weren't failing. You was learning. You now you know what didn't work.
Yep. And that's just as productive as learning what it is that does work, right?
Learning what it is that does work. So let's talk about what's working for you. Reality Tell Your Vision. You have a show right now. Tell us about Reality Tell Your Vision.
So right after my grandpa died and I get a 4.0 the first semester back, this positive momentum was just hunger, you know, like I wanted it, man. I really, I knew what this purpose was, and there was nothing that was going to stop me, because the purpose is way bigger than who I am and who anybody else is. So I had pushed my way through, and I showed up in an independent radio station randomly one day through a kid that I met in class, and there I asked for an internship opportunity. You know, I just wanted to gain as much experience as I possibly can so that, you know, my resume will look up to par, and I had a lot of catching up to do.
Okay.
And there I did a talk show after working my butt off and earning that time slot. And I saw where it took me, Emanuel. I saw, you know, I interviewed, you know, a lot of guests, did 3 live episodes, I guess, in certain events, and including the African American Museum down the street from here. And I met Mayor Duggan, I met Chelsea Clinton when she was in town, and I saw where it took me. So right then and there I realized that, like, any vision that you have in your brain, you can turn them into a reality. You just gotta tell your vision, right? So at the time I was, you know, I had a crew of people that I was working with, but they all graduated, went all their separate ways, and I had was working at a shipping department at the time. This is a story I love to tell because this talks about, like, most people. When I was working at a shipping department, I was working with a couple 30-plus-year-old dudes, zero ambition, you know, zero joy and happiness and love for others and care for others. You know, they were very miserable with themselves, and they took that out on me a lot. Because here I am, positive guy, you know, has a purpose and try to positively do things. And I kept ignoring that. You know, I put my headphones on, monotonous work that I would do. I would just listen to successful people, how they thought, podcasts, audiobooks, and just continuously grew my brain. And there's this formula that I believe is when preparation meets opportunity, it meets success. And a lot of people our age, or a lot of people in general, you know, they're so caught up in the opportunity part. Why isn't this opportunity coming to me? If I only had this opportunity, I will be able to find success. But really, you're doing yourself a disservice, because when the opportunity shows up, if you don't have the preparation part down pat, you're not going to be able to execute upon it and be successful on it.
Oh, I know about that.
So the more you're focused on the preparation part, God, universe, whatever it is, tends to reward you with the opportunity. And because you focus on the preparation part, you're going to be equipped to make sure that you're going to find that success. And that's exactly what happened to me. Because I was listening to those audiobooks and learning about how successful people thought and executed their lives, randomly that company decides to have a leadership event at Ford Field. And there I met longtime Lions kicker Jason Hansen. And after his speech, everybody was going up to him, taking pictures with him. And I'm just looking at this like, this is the opportunity. I got to take advantage of this. And because I'm prepared, I'm confident to do this. So I went up to him and I shook his hand and I introduced myself. And this is exactly what my elevator speech that I prepared was, because of those podcasts. I said, Mr. Hansen, I don't mean to come across as being pushy, but not every day do I get to meet a person like you. So if I don't ask you this question, I'm gonna regret this. I'm Leo from Japan. I go to Wayne State University, and in this country, in order to be successful, you need to have 2 things. Number 1, the ambition to go and get what it is that you want. And number 2, knowing the right people. Do you know of anybody that may be able to point me towards the right direction in my career? And he looked at me, he's like, I like your attitude, man. Contact so-and-so, he's the director of broadcasting here. Tell him I referred you. So this guy that I used to watch on TV just gave me a reference. That night, man, I went on my phone and I looked that person up. I found him, left him a voicemail, left him an email, set up a meeting, preparation after that, and then when the opportunity showed up, man, I was so prepared that I got the job right there on the spot.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
You know what's even more amazing, man?
Wow.
When I walked in there on the first day of my job, man, I'm looking around and I'm working amongst these Lions players that I watched growing up. You know what my greatest memory with my grandpa was?
What?
Was watching the Lions. So that experience itself was a story of its own. But after that was done, man, everybody's still the same question. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? That worry part, right? It's like I said, time you spend worrying and being angry is time wasted appreciating love. So when they were asking me, what are you going to do after this internship? I was just like, whatever happens, I'll be grateful for it. Because I didn't expect this to happen. So what ended up happening was I was able to take what I build with Reality Tell Your Vision, the concept of providing a platform for those who deserve recognition, take the production aspect that I learned from the NFL, incorporated it together. In Reality Television today, you know, we travel around and we go to events, you know, companies, and whatever story that they want to articulate, you know, and whatever positive things that they're doing for the community, we come in there, we capture it so that we can amplify their voices. And there's nothing more fulfilling than doing that, because I get to continue my grandpa's legacy.
I completely agree with you on that. To me, there's nothing more fulfilling than allowing a person to really share their story the way they want to be able to tell it, and just feel like they feel complete within themselves. I'm like, because not too many people get a chance to tell their stories. Not too many people get a chance to really express their own true feelings, and what they really want to say, and articulate what they're trying to do in the world. So I completely agree with you. I am 100. Like, this is, it's matching up, it's adding up, and it only can go up from here. You started very, very low, and you took every single opportunity that came your way. You start saying yes, and opening yourself up to the experience, preparing. Now your success is going up. I can't thank you enough for that. That's what we're looking for here at the Emanuel Show. Being able to articulate and tell people, hey, there's more than what's in front of you. Just keep looking beyond. Prepare yourself for what's coming. That's what we're trying to do, and that's what I see in your story.
Yeah, it's just, you know, it's just a grateful heart is a magnet for miracles.
Oh my God,
Yeah, so like if you can wake up every morning and be like, I always ask everybody, like, what are 3 things you're most grateful for anytime I meet them, because I don't really care what it is that, like, you're struggling with, or like what it is that you're, you know, that you're ticked off about. I don't care about that. I care about what it is that you're grateful for. You know, what makes you happy? Because when I ask that question and people start talking about it, I start to see their mood change, you know? And I think by starting off your day each morning by asking yourself that question, what are 3 things am I most grateful for today? That really sets the tone for the rest of the day, and you have this positive aura and this positive energy, and that's what really captivates the room whenever you walk into any sort of situation.
Completely.
People gravitate towards you, and people want to work with you, and that's it. And it's so simple, you know, and some people may watch it like, what is he talking about, right? But it's true.
So what 3 things are you grateful for today?
I'm grateful for this opportunity, number 1, just to be able to, usually I'm on the opposite side of the camera, so like this is kind of strange that I'm on this side, but I'm enjoying this, and I'm very grateful that you're curious enough to want to know my stories.
Yeah.
So thank you. Number 2, just the epiphanies that I was able to have. My grandpa passing away was by far the hardest experience that I had to endure. You know, witnessing somebody pass away and seeing the inevitable was a very, very scary thing. But to be able to find the light, you know, from that, I mean, if I'm able to take the worst parts of my life and view them as the best parts of my life, I mean, what more can I ask for, you know?
Yep.
And number 3, I think it's the wisdom that I attained from my good mentor that was really a big life changer. He said, he was a music producer back in the 60s and 70s, I believe. I don't know which generation it was, but anyways, he had his number 1 hit record. And everybody was asking him, like, hey man, how do you feel about your number 1? You attained your dream, that's awesome. And he said to me, he's like, Leo, you're very goal-oriented, and that's good. You need to set goals for yourself in order to attain things in life. But remember, when you reach those goals, when people ask you how you feel, you're not going to know how you feel, because it's over. Your goal is done. You're going to feel empty. You're not going to know what that answer is. But what you're going to have is the memories that you created throughout your journey to get there. So in each step that you take to attain your goals, just make sure you create as many positive memories as you can. Because once you get there, that's all you're going to be reflecting on.
Yep,
and
I remember when.
That wisdom right there allows me to walk into a room like this, to sit here with you and be fully present. You know, I'm sure you've interviewed people or met people where they're thinking about something else and they're not really here.
Yeah, they were present. Yep.
But I am. So thank you so much for allowing me to be present today.
You are very welcome. Hey, somebody told me, well, actually a couple of weeks ago, that they said that the present, that's exactly what it is. It's a present.
Yeah.
You're in the present. You're in the gift of life. This is your gift. This is the present. So I took that on. I'm going to take that with me for the rest of my life. Just to be present. Be in the gift. Be in the gift of life. This is what it is. You're in the present.
Right.
This is your gift. You're in the gift. So thank you so much. Last question: where can people find Reality Tell Your Vision?
RealityTellYourVision.com. I'm very active on Instagram at Leo Ayrault, or you can just look up Reality Tell Your Vision. Yeah, I'm just telling each story.
Telling the story. So. I'm with you on that. Everybody, thank you so much for watching yet another episode of The Emanuel Show. You'll be able to find Reality Tell Your Vision in the link if you go to www.theemanuelshow.com. Click on episodes, scroll down to Leo's interview. You'll be able to watch his interview on YouTube, as well as click on the link to Reality Tell Your Vision, because we're going to have his link on our website as well. We want to be able to spread our message far and wide, as well as your message far and wide. I'm okay with it, but we're doing the same thing. There's more than enough room at this table for everybody to eat, and if my viewers can watch yours, I'm okay with that. I just want people to be able to tell their stories and be affected by the positivity in the world. That's my goal for the whole thing. But thank you all very much for watching. Yeah.
Can I say one thing to your viewers?
Yeah, sure.
If there's anything that I can do to add value to your life, please always consider me ready and willing. You know, I'm doing all of this because I love to do this, and the people that I get to meet. You know, it's not about the job that you get in this life that makes you happy. It's about who you work with. So if I can have the opportunity to work with people who are positive, I'm always grateful for that. So if there's anything I can do to add value to you, please consider me ready and willing. And Emanuel, thank you so much for letting me speak to you and everybody who support you.
You're more than welcome. Anytime, Leo. Anytime. I consider this a pleasure. Thank you. That's it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be prepared for next week. We're going to have another amazing guest. God bless you all. From my heart to yours. Enjoy your life and live the best life that you can. God bless. I want to thank you all for watching another episode of The Emanuel Show. Here's a sneak peek of what's coming next week.
Motherhood is not something that is, and it's probably cliche to say, it's probably the best thing that I've done with my life thus far. It's not the only thing that I've done with my life. And I think that because as women, we don't really sit down and talk about, this is hard. Like, this is not, the roses and berries that everybody talked about. That those first couple of weeks when you're not sleeping, you're like, oh my God, what does that smell? Oh, I haven't bathed today, or did I eat today? And really not understanding that it is not something that, is easy to get through. And I have been beyond blessed to have a circle of women, because I don't think motherhood was ever designed, parenting period was never designed for one or two people. This is a job that takes a bunch of people. Like African proverbs.
Let me tell you, village to raise a child. This episode and many more like it, I ask you guys to watch and log on to www.theemanuelshow.com. We also ask you guys to follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, tweet us, and become a subscriber to our YouTube channel. I thank you all again for watching. Follow us on all of our social media. Like and comment on everything. We want to know your output. We want to know your feedback. Thanks again.